welcome to ZgermanGuy Reviews. Last time we began our journey in the Kingdom Hearts universe, and now it's going to continue. That's why it says part 2. Duh. We left the trio just shortly after they helped save Traverse Town from total annihilation. Now it's time for the group to get out there and search for their friends. To do so, we get into the Gummy Ship, and with that, one of the most bizarre minigames that I have ever come across begins. The Gummy Ship levels are basically an arcade game by which we fly through space until we reach another world. This minigame is fun and all, but I don't understand why the developers put that much effort into it. I mean, half of the treasure chests have some kind of gummy item in them. Which isn't even necessary, you can easily beat the route to the last world with the original standard ship. But whatever, it's just for fun, so I don't bother. If you like to spend hours in the Gummy Ship tuning menu to achieve an even bigger high score, I can only say more power to you. Oh, I should inform you that I go through these worlds in order by which they make most sense. It is possible to go to some worlds in a different order, and it would not screw up the plot too bad. But there are certain details that would make only sense after you visited this or that world, and I would like to keep it in order as much as possible, since the Kingdom Hearts universe is complicated enough as it is. And because I'm a German, I like to put things in order. It's just my nature. So we land in Wonderland, where our friends fall through the rabbit hole. Wait, did they park the Gummy Ship right above the rabbit hole and decided, yeah, let's jump in there, guys? Anyway, when gravity starts to kick in again and the three fall to the ground, they see the White Rabbit talking to himself, saying he's too late, way too late to a very important date. And curious as they are, they follow him. They end up in a room where they see that a now much smaller White Rabbit is going through a door, and they are left scratching their heads wondering how he got that small. Wait a minute! That is supposed to be Wonderland? Where are all the totally psychotic visions, and the hentai tentacle monsters, and the totally messed up 18th century London with rapists and... Oh, it's that Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Moving on, my bad. It would be cool though.
I need a bit more sleep.
Wait, what do we have to do to grow small?
Why don't you try the bottle? Over there.
What could go wrong? Whoa. No, of course not. Just like in the Disney movie, but not like the actual book. That one was pretty trippy too, I tell ya. They shrink down and can now enter a small hole in the wall that we opened up earlier. Inside the hole is the Queen of Hearts garden. And apparently Wonderland is filmed at the same set as the Teletubbies and the Truman Show, since you can clearly see that the horizon is just painted. Anyhow, the Queen is in the middle of a trial.
Hey guys, we should help her out.
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling?
Oh yes, that needs some explaining. Before they started their adventure, Donald and Goofy discussed that they had to be careful not to interfere too much with the other worlds, since that might disrupt the order of the universe. Which doesn't make sense at all, because there's the fact that you are fighting the Heartless, who don't give a rat's ass about the world order, and they have already messed it up completely. And because you are fighting them, and also just by being here, you are mixing up things. So, what the hell? I mean, I completely understand the argument. You don't want to rush into a situation that you don't understand and therefore cause accidentally chaos, but so what? This can happen everywhere, in your home world too. Not to mention that everyone has a duty to do the right thing. No matter where you go or whatever you see, justice and injustice stay the same. Good and evil stay the same. They may change the appearance, but that's really everything. It is possible that deeds have unintended consequences, no question there, but still that doesn't make the person that had good intentions guilty, as long as that person carefully thought about what consequences his actions possibly could have. I just cannot see how helping prevail justice when someone is getting robbed in another country, for example, could have a domino effect that results in the Fallout series becoming a documentary. The claim it is better to stay neutral appears to me more like a lame excuse not to fight for any values. Which appears to be the philosophy that Donald, Goofy and Sora later adopt, since in later worlds, and especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, they just do good and help, wherever and whenever they can. And lo and behold, their good actions lead to good outcomes, which makes the universe a better place. Now I don't want to start a big debate about the Iraq War here or something, since there the view that actions have unintended consequences is much better applied because a country doing something to another country has millions of factors that can only be hard or impossibly calculated. I am talking about individuals doing the right thing when they see injustice. What I'm saying is that when millions of individual people, not collectively through a government, but individually, millions of times are doing good things all on their own when they see the opportunity, that is mostly 100% guaranteed to lead to a better world. That is of course not some big libertarian we don't need government argument. What I mean is that what Gandalf in The Hobbit said. You don't need great power to keep the darkness away. It's the small things. A kind word here, a helping hand there, every single little drop of water that at some point becomes an ocean. All that does more than you could possibly imagine. And I am aware that there are hundreds of other things to consider, like what if someone is just using your kind helping hand? What if you are misled into doing something bad while you think it's good? I know that the world is a complicated place, but if this game taught me anything at all, then that if you are listening to your heart very closely, you will know when something is good or evil, and you will know what to do. Always. Jesus, how did I end up from a game that is the love child of Disney and Final Fantasy to the School of Athens? Anyway, before Sora and the other two can dress in toga, the Queen of Hearts says that Alice is being accused for the attempted theft of her heart. I always knew the Queen was a lesbian. Ooh, if they ever make a live-action movie, she could be played by Boo from Orange is the New Black. The last remark lets Sora immediately know who is really behind it, and he starts to protest. The Red Queen demands to know what the meaning of this interference is and wants to see some evidence. Until then, Alice remains a prisoner. By the way, the voice actress for Alice is the original Alice from the 1950s movie. The voice cast in this game series in general is amazing. So many actors in English and German returning as their old roles after 30 to 40 years. It's just awesome. I can't even imagine how wonderful and big this reunion must have been for so many folks. Acting off each other again, telling old stories, as if no time has passed at all. And now we meeting in a abandoned studio. We hear the playback and it seems so long ago. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sora and his friends go to another part of the studio, I mean Wonderland, where they meet the Cheshire Cat, who I never noticed before is freaking disturbing. As typical for a citizen of Wonderland, he talks a bunch of nonsense, so we are left to search for evidence on our own. After we find enough pieces of evidence that the Heartless put very kindly in pink boxes for us, we return. And because the Queen is a lazy bitch, she wants only one piece of evidence examined. So we are ordered to choose between one of the boxes. With a little bit luck and enough evidence, you will pick the right one, but that won't convince Queen I need anger therapy, so she declares, what else, off with their heads. During the fight, however, someone kidnaps Alice and the Queen demands to know who the real perpetrator is. Once again we meet the Cheshire Cat, who tells us that it was the shadows who took Alice, and to find her we need to follow the shadows. So we walk around and turn on a few lights to lure the Heartless out. Our plan works and we begin our confrontation with the Juggler Heartless. After he is defeated, the Joker Cat explains to us that Alice is gone, that she has been taken outside of this world, but he doesn't know where. Suddenly, Mr. Door wakes up from all the noise and lets out a big yawn, and reveals a bright light in his mouth. This causes the Keyblade to connect with whatever is behind the door, and after a very impressive light show, they hear the sound of a lock closing. Since Sora, Donald and Goofy don't know where Alice possibly could have gone, they give up the search for the moment and return to Traverse Town, where they ask Leon what in the hell that light in the door could have meant. Leon explains that it must have been the keyhole to the world's heart. Every world in the universe has one, and it's what the Heartless' main objective is. With it, they can destroy that world and collect all the hearts at once. So now Sora's mission becomes even clearer. Find all keyholes in all the worlds. And to start off, he closes the one in Traverse Town. But not before we are greeted by another Armor Heartless. But this time, he puts his arms where his feet are and his feet where his arms should be. This game about Disney characters has an abomination in it that could be from Dr. Mengele. That's so metal. Next up, we enter the Colosseum of Olympus, where Phil de Satyr is preparing the arena games where the strongest heroes of the world will gather. And with strongest heroes, he means mostly Heartless. Yeah, that is pretty strange, I know. In the manga, they also ask why the Heartless are in the games. I guess it's Hades who signed them up, but then why are they even allowed in the games at all? Yes, I know, they are evil, from heads to the toe. They would devour all life in existence if they had a chance. But does that mean we have a right to exclude them from community activities?
Social justice, 1, 2, 3. I wanna be PC. It's just the way to be for me and you.
Although the application process must have been pretty amusing. Hello, welcome to the infamous arena. What can I do for you? Ah, another team for the games. Sign the dotted line here, here, and here. We would like to join the games, but there's a little problem. Phil doesn't consider our heroes to be, heroes. So he sends them away. But thankfully our good friend and helper Hades is present and gives Sora a ticket that allows him to participate. Isn't it amazing how innocent Sora is? Any other person would be suspicious of the fact that a man in a dark robe with burning hair and razor-sharp teeth is just walking up to you and gives you something. Some might say that's stupid, and it is in some way, but I think that actually shows who Sora is. That is his personality. He is way too pure-hearted to assume any sinister motives in the people he meets. And it's one of the reasons why he is such a likable character. He is simply good. I'm reminded of Kingdom Hearts the novel, where Sora arrives in Wonderland and Donald says to him, "Oh, they are holding a trial." And Sora only replies, "What's a trial?" He is from a world that is so morally good that it doesn't have the need for trials. Just think about that. Anyway, they go back inside and Sora and Pulse, after a few training sessions with barrels, yeah, it's like in school where you also learn a bunch of things that you never need again, the games begin. And fight after fight we climb up the ranking until Hades sends in Cloud. As we fight, Hades executes his actual plan. He unleashes Cerberus, the three-headed dog of hell. No, not that one. But again, it would be amazing. But just before it looks like Sora is going to end as a snack, Hercules enters the arena and saves our asses. However, Sora, wanting to show that he not only wants to be a hero, but is a hero, goes in again so Hercules can escape with Cloud on his back. The fight is hard, but we manage to send the bad dog Night-Night, which leads to Phil officially making us, junior heroes. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You horny bastard. On our way back to the ship, we meet Cloud on the stairs, admitting that it was a mistake to trust the powers of darkness, and he will from now on only follow the light. The night falls and Hades is very unhappy that his plan has failed, but he says to himself that he will get another chance in the next games. Indeed he will. Another chance to get his ass kicked like a little bitch. Our gummy ship visits the next world, and from the outside it's already clear that it is a giant jungle. Donald thinks that in this world there isn't anything that their king could search for, so he wants to just move on. However, Sora interrupts him, saying that it could very well be that Riku and Kairi are in this world, but Donald doesn't want to hear any of it. Donald, you do realize that even if your king, Riku or Kairi are all not on this planet, you still have to go down there because the keyhole, the Heartless, they can't be allowed to get any stronger. Remember any of that? A fight between Sora and Donald over the control panel causes the ship to crash in the jungle. Sora makes a very unpleasant landing in a treehouse and gets attacked by Zabor the leopard. However, a man comes to Sora's rescue and introduces himself as Tarzan. Sora first wants to ask about Donald and Goofy, but then remembers his fight, and instead asks the man, who he barely understands, where his friends Riku and Kairi are. Tarzan replies they are here. Whoa! Tarzan, keep it down. This is a game for the whole family. Sora then decides to follow Tarzan. They arrive at the camp of Jane, where Donald and Goofy are also present after they have been picked up by Mr. Clayton. They also found a piece of gummy, the same material from the ship, so they figure King Mickey might be here after all. Sora and Donald are still stubborn, but they both agree that they have to work together as long as they are here. They try to communicate with Tarzan using some incoherent dias, and of course Tarzan doesn't understand at all what they want from him. Then Mr. Clayton explains that he and Jane have been in the jungle for a long time now, and pretty much know every single corner of it, except one place, the nesting ground of the gorillas. If their friends are in the jungle, they can only be at that place. Tarzan agrees to lead them to it, and Mr. Clayton also wants to come along.
After all, the jungle is a dangerous place.
Mr. Clayton, we are right over here. We can see what you are doing. Oh, don't worry. I just remembered a very funny joke. An evil joke. Tarzan talks to Kerchak, the leader of the gorillas, and begs him to lead us to the nesting grounds, but Kerchak walks away silently, leaving Tarzan disappointed. Goofy noticed that Kerchak was looking interested at the treehouse, so the group goes there to see what's going on. When they arrive, they catch Clayton right before he was about to shoot a gorilla. Back at the camp, he claims he was only trying to scare away a snake that was going to bite the poor animal, but no one believes him. A few moments later, Clayton swears furiously that he will hunt down every single one of those damn gorillas. Gorillas killed my parents. And they caused 9/11. Sora, Goofy and Donald suddenly hear a shot in the distance and go out to discover that the Heartless are ganging up on some gorillas. So our heroes, or should I better say junior heroes, I still can't believe it, what a jerk, save all the gorillas from the Heartless. However, the camp gets overrun by the Servants of Darkness, and when the group returns, Jane is gone. They find Jane trapped and free her. She says that the last thing she remembers was Clayton storming into the tent before everything went black. The crew then starts to look for Clayton, only to find out that it was he who used the Heartless to round up the gorillas in one place to kill them all.
Clayton?
Not Clayton. Not Clayton.
Oh no! The guy that is obviously evil turns out to be evil. What a twist, guys. Seriously, how is this a mystery for you? evil smile. He shot at gorillas before. He even told you what he was going to do.
A circus of clowns. Not much use for hunting gorillas.
After an amazing battle between Clayton and his giant chameleon Heartless that after it was defeated fell down on Clayton, breaking every bone in his body. Oh yes, I almost forgot, Disney deaths are hardcore. We are thrown into the air like Team Rocket. Thanks? No, actually that was Kerchak's way of saying that we are allowed to visit the gorilla nesting place, which is located in a cave beneath the waterfall. It is also the place where we find the keyhole. After they find out that means friends are in our hearts, Sora and Donald apologize to one another. When the keyhole gets locked by the keyblade, a gummy piece falls out, one that neither Donald or Goofy have ever seen before, which means the group got another mystery to solve. A mystery for another time. ZgermanGuy, out and auf Wiedersehen.